Here we are, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the Sean and Zach Show. This is going to be an interesting episode. It's going to be a great episode. We decided to do something live here with you guys. We are always looking for new ways to stretch ourselves. And by that, I mean, like, I don't know, publicly do scary things. We're going to keep our clothes on, hopefully. So we found these questions, theadventurechallenge.com, and this was questions that you ask your spouse or significant other.
For connection.
For connection. There's all these different questions. There's all these different lists, but there's 15 questions here that we have not rehearsed. We haven't gone through. We just read them individually.
We literally just found this about 5 minutes ago.
Like, we were like, let's do something totally different, totally like live, crazy. But this is, I think, what's cool, number one, about our show and about what we do and about you and I, is that we're willing to do something that like could potentially have some weird live awkwardness to it.
Well,
but so here's the deal. This is from the adventurechallenge.com. I think we could put a link to this, right?
Yeah, we want it.
So
it would be fun for you guys to do it.
If you're on YouTube, we'll put a link to this page, to these questions. If you're listening to this on iTunes, we can do the same thing, right?
And I'll put a link on our Facebook page.
Yeah, on our Facebook page. So we'll link this up. So if you're listening to this, go to either our Facebook page, to our YouTube channel, and we'll have the link to this. And I challenge you guys to do this. This is like kind of cool. It's kind of scary. We have not rehearsed this. We just have literally read these questions. We're like, let's do this. Yes. And that's that. So are you ready to go? Should we just jump into it? Because I don't want to I don't want to have preconceived answers. Right? Here's why I like this. Yeah, you got the lights on you, babe. We're like live here. People are watching. We have 62 million live people watching. Just don't get nervous.
Oh, stop.
But here's what's cool about this. Like, we just literally pulled this offline, and I like doing stuff like this because it forces you, number one, to do something you're uncomfortable doing. Now, a lot of people might rehearse this, or we would do this over dinner, and we would spend time talking about all of these answers, and we obviously are not going to do that here. We're going to ask the question and pop off the answer, and that's that. And maybe we talk about it for a second, maybe we don't. But the reason that I like doing stuff like this is because we had date night last night. We sat and we talked for what did we go to dinner for? 2 hours, 2.5 hours? We never have a shortage of conversation. We never have like that awkward,
we
like,
never run out of words,
what do you want to talk about now, babe?
Ever.
You know what I mean? Like, we don't ever have that, for us at least. So, if you're like us and you don't have a shortage of conversation, congratulations. If you're a couple that might have a shortage of words, or you're trying to figure out how to spark up conversation, I strongly suggest you guys go online and just literally Google questions to ask your spouse, questions to ask your lover, questions about our relationship, questions about sex. And if you guys both jump into the deep end of the pool together and you're like, yo, let's answer these, and you do it honestly, I think it's a really, really powerful thing, because what a lot of people, I feel like, struggle with is like, what do we talk about? What's new? What's exciting? Like, what's invigorating?
Or you feel like you know your partner so well, but maybe you actually don't know, because these questions might unearth some fun things, and you become
which is
more
good.
Curious.
I think that's good.
It's always
right?
good.
And the one thing that's interesting, that I think is really powerful, is like when you're not attached to there's obviously emotions behind it, but like, I'm attached to the truth. I want to know the truth. Yep. And if there's something in here where you're like, you tell me something that I didn't know, or that might be a little bit uncomfortable for me, or whatever, that's where you go talk about it. Like, that's where you dive in and go deeper on it, right?
For sure.
But to me, this is just a really cool exercise in being able to spark conversation, ask your lover different questions, because there's some questions in here that I literally just read 2 minutes before we decided to go live that I was like, I don't know that I've ever.
Your brain has already forgot them, so
I already forgot them. But there's some things in here that I'm kind of like, oh, this is really cool. Like, this is a really good way for me to touch base with my wife, because we really didn't talk about any of these things last night. That's what's cool about it. Is like, we talked about a bunch of different things, but we didn't really talk about a lot of this stuff. So, anyways, I'm excited. Let's do this. Do you want to lead this out?
Yeah, I'll lead.
Okay, you lead this out.
Okay. First question: is there one thing that we could do?
If there's.
Oh, your little circle went over it.
Yeah.
If there's one thing that we could do instantly and permanently change in our marriage, what would it be?
Babe, do you struggle with reading?
Yeah, I don't have my glasses on.
Oh, you need glasses? Do you want me to lead these? Okay, go ahead. Try one more time.
What?
You're close. If there's one thing that we could instantly and permanently change in our marriage, what would it be?
I don't know what I said.
If there's one thing that we could instantly and permanently change in our marriage, what would it be? It would be more traveling. We travel a ton. That's the first thing that came to my mind. We travel more because I really like traveling with you. That would be something that we would change.
That's definitely not my answer.
And we don't have any objections or reasons not to. And just that was the first thing that came to my mind is that we travel more because I really like traveling with you.
Cool. I like that answer. That's a really positive answer. I have a negative answer.
Oh, shit. Okay.
It's not negative. But mine was that I really wish we would fight less. And meaning fight like we're less like, and we're like, okay,
but that's how we are.
Same team. We're not like, wah.
We're very fire.
We are very fire. And that's the thing. It's like I say that, but I'm not willing to not be less fiery. So guess that was, let's just travel.
So you want me to be less fire, but you're just going to continue to be fire. Got it. Understood. You guys see how that works? Okay,
I'll
go ahead and make some
changes. Let's go with Sean's answer. Okay. We'll just travel more.
And you can be less fire. Great. Good job. Okay, number 2.
You want to go back and forth? How about you read me this?
Okay. Number 2, if you could change one thing about me, what would it be?
I think I would like it if you had more patience.
More patience?
Mm-hmm. That would be great. That would be fun.
Give me an example of how I'm not patient.
When you're flustered, you are just flustered, and so every encounter in that flustered state is like da, 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 da. And I'm like, whoa, hold on, I didn't come to this flustered party. What's going on here? Things like that.
More patience. Okay, when God was handing out patience, I was not in that line. I didn't get invited to that party. God gave me a lot of really amazing gifts. Yeah. Patience is not one of those gifts. I'm better though. Am I better than?
Oh, honey, you're really great, but I mean, you're not flawless.
I know.
No, you've honestly like I think we've both evolved so much in our relationship.
Okay.
Definitely getting more patient.
If I could change one thing about you, what would it be? It would be that you would be less, you would tone down your masculine more when I'm in the war.
Oh, you mean you don't need a sidekick?
I don't need a sidekick. You just hand me the friggin' bullets and I'll take care of everything else. You hand me the sword, I'll go fucking kill. Sax is a killer. I mean, straight up, that's what it is.
No, I really appreciate. I love that answer.
What I mean by that is like when people attack me, Sax like goes hard in the paint. She's like, you know what? Fuck you. I'll fucking destroy you. And I'm like, no. Simmer down.
It's just what I say at home.
Just take care of your shit and handle it.
Yeah.
And this is something that we've talked about quite a bit. Like this is an interesting dynamic of our relationship because Sax has always been in her masculine. She's basically been the driver for your entire life. Now you got somebody who's driving and I don't need you to drive. And a lot of times like when shit comes up or somebody says something or I get attacked or somebody's fucking with me, Sax like wants to cut their freaking jugular. And I'm like, no.
Yeah.
I'm almost having to talk you down sometimes.
Yeah. The mama bear energy in me is
which I'm not saying intense. Don't have that. I love it. I'm just saying like if there's anything I could change, it'd be like more of you just holding space for me and letting me go do my thing.
I love that answer because if you were to ask me, that would be what I would respond for myself. Yeah. Because I find myself, way in it, and it's like I'm mama bear. I'm protective. These are my people. This is my. I'm protective on like even of my tribe. Like that's just my nature. But I know that I don't necessarily need to be that, and it's not. It doesn't hold the same value it used to. In my life. So for sure.
All right, you want to read 3? You do 3.
You want me to read 3? Is that what you just said? Is there a couple who has a relationship that you look up to and admire? What is it about their relationship that makes you feel that way?
I don't know that I like the word admire, but somebody that I respect. And again, I don't know them very well. I've met them a handful of times. I know them, spoken to them a bunch, but I've never really spent extended time. Grant and Elena Cardone. I like their vibe. I like how they operate. Like I said, I've met them a handful of times. I've spoken to them, like sat down with them, both Grant and Elena and together. And I like how they roll, man. I like that they're both you know, what makes me feel that way is from what I see and what I observe, and I feel like I'm a fairly decent judge of character. You know, they both push the shit out of each other. You know what I mean? But I hear and see Elena talk frequently about, like, Grant's the man. Like, Grant's the fucking big dog. Grant's the boss. And she means that. She's not saying that to be like some condescending, you know, chick. Sure. She really, like, supports and endorses and rolls with him. And they've obviously been together for a long time, you know, in when they didn't have a lot of money, and now, you know, now they're doing very well. But I think Grant and Elena, and obviously he, from what I see about him, he really supports and pushes and endorses her in what she does, which I very much respect about a couple, especially a power couple, if you will, quote unquote power couple, is they're both pushing each other. And from what I see, they seem to have a lot going that I like and appreciate.
I love that. I really like that, because a lot of times you'll see, like, the woman, she's not quite as bright, like by design. Like, here, you just stay my wife too, though, like, you know. And Elena is bright. She's got this huge bright light.
You mean bright like witty, smart,
no, bright
or light?
Meaning like she is like, she's taking up space. She's
like,
commanding a room.
Dumb.
No, meaning like she's commanding a room. Like, her light is bright. Like, she's just like, there's no dimming of her light. I mean, she's just like, if anything, she pushes herself brighter and brighter and brighter into this, like, incredible light that, like, you can't help but pay attention to. And a lot of I shouldn't say a lot. I hate when I kind of do that, but it's many couples you see, like, they have these epic wives, and they kind of like take the shadow position for whatever reason. Maybe it's by choice or not choice or whatever. But I love that she's like, I'm gonna be this bright light, and Grant's like, she shines bright. Yeah, and he pushes her. They just go
right. Like Elena. You shining doesn't dim my light. Me shining doesn't dim your light. And I see that with those two.
Yeah, it's really cool. I love their dynamic.
What's your answer?
Frank and Chanel.
Nice.
The truth is like, they were my buddies when I was trying to. I looked for mentors. I wanted to find, and they're not perfect. I mean, they're not perfect by any means. They're just a normal couple raising 5 kids. But they've been together forever, and they're my friends. And I just thought, gosh, I just loved them as people, and I loved how they were as parents. And I just, you know, like, I spent a lot of time just paying attention to the dynamic of the relationship. And what I've learned from them the most is they are always willing to work through hard shit. Mm-hmm. And they've shown me that even though they've been together since they were 14 and now they're in their 40s, like, change happens, struggle continues, like, evolution continue, like, they keep evolving into these new and greater people together, but they don't do that walking on a rainbow. Like, I've seen them work through some heavy stuff, and to me, like, I love the real. I love the real that's like, you know. And so they're just my friends, and they've helped me tremendously.
Shout out to Frank and Chanel. We'll find a way to link them or tag them or something so you guys can all go follow them.
For sure.
All right. Next question. What do you think is our biggest strength as a couple?
Oh, that we're all in. Like, we are.
That's my answer too.
Through thick and thin, through good and bad. Not bad, but through it all. Like, we're in it. Like, we know that we're dying together. We know we're never getting divorced. We know we've put all of our chips in, and it is the most refreshing, rich, incredible feeling I've ever had in a relationship. Like, I don't even know how to put it into words, but it's like, knowing that this is it is so fulfilling. Yeah. It's like, you can literally do anything. And you know anything. Almost anything. But it's like, you're not afraid to fail anymore. You're not afraid to win anymore. It's like, because you know
it's almost like you don't have anything to prove, right? I don't have anything to prove, yet I have everything to prove. Mm-hmm. Like, I don't have anything to prove to, like, and I think we could go really deep on this if we wanted to. Like, I would say that I love myself more than I've ever loved myself. I love who I am. Aww. And I would bet that you would probably say the same thing. Yeah. In the good and the bad and the up and down, the light and the dark, the ugly days, the smiley days, the good days, the bad days. Like, it's kind of that's what I would say to that, is being all in is, you know, a lot of times in the past you have something to prove. You're trying to prove your worth and prove your value and prove your you know, the ability that you have to be loved. You know what I'm saying? And when you get to a place where you actually really fucking love who you are, it changes the dynamic for sure. But I agree with you. That was my answer too.
Well, how about them apples?
I'll pop off the next one just because I'm already looking at it. You're not.
Good,
What's our biggest weakness?
That we are very reactive when we're in a state of like heightened. I wouldn't say very reactive. We are reactive when in a state of distress, where we're both fighters and we're both fiery. That sometimes it's like we create unnecessary. I don't want to use the word chaos. Drama that like we don't need, and we know that. But I think it's just so innate in our because we're just fiery and spicy that we do that. And it's often I'm like, dude, why do we even do this? This is so stupid. But it's like I have a feeling that through the course of time we're gonna get burnout on that because we're realizing that like we don't need to operate in those old ways anymore. And then it's not all the time, but it's when we do that would be like that would say it was our greatest weakness.
I would say it's parallels that, but I would say trust. I think our biggest weaknesses is that we still have trust issues. I do, you do, and not that I question, are you banging the neighbor kind of a deal, but like the really deeply rooted trust of self, trust of your partner, and like what you're talking about. We get fiery really fast, we get responsive really fast to shit that we really don't need to. That is very insignificant and very small, and I think it's based off of our trust in ourselves and in each other.
Which is ironic that our greatest strength is that we're all in. Yeah. But our greatest weakness
I know that we're not. I know we're not going anywhere. I know that you're not going out and banging the neighbor. I'm not cheating. And like those rudimentary things that cause a lot of chaos and a lot of stress. We both know that, but the subconscious, the subliminal, whatever, our own DNA, our own defense mechanisms, our own programming, our own patterns. I think I would say that's probably our biggest weakness, if you will. But we both, like you said, I like what you said. We both know it, we both acknowledge it, and we're both working on it.
Right, and that's a big thing. Is like when we do have issues come up, we actually have this conversation. We assess like the origin, and then we talk about like, oh, this is like old programming. And so it's almost like every time we get closer and closer and closer to that not happening or being less abrasive in the moment.
Yeah.
You want to just read these because you're really good.
You want me to? Yeah. You just can't see? Jesus, babe.
I didn't think of
we can afford glasses, right? Contacts maybe? Like.
Oh, no, I have astigmatism. Then it'd be all wonky. Just read them. That's great.
Okay. Let's see. Is there anything that you feel like you can't or don't like talking about with me?
My past. Sean does not like to talk about the past, and which I don't really want to talk. I don't really want to talk about the past, but sometimes, like there is something I want to say, and I'm like, he doesn't want to talk about the past, but I usually say it anyways because I do what I want.
Yeah. So your answer is talking about the past. Yeah. Is there anything that you feel like you can't or don't like talking about with me? A lot of times it's like when you're fucking up, and I know you're fucking up, and you're fucking up.
Like the laundry?
It causes a war because you're very, very, very fucking reactive. Like if I bring up some shit, it could be glaring. You're just like totally in it, being a total dick, and I bring it up, and you're fire. Yes. With that shit.
Yes.
So it's not that I can't or that I don't. It's just I know like if I do, we're going to war. So you should work on that, babe. You should work on that. Great answer. Next question. Okay. Here's a good one. This is the next one. Is there anything in our relationship that scares you?
Honestly, I don't really have anything that scares me other than like something happening to you. I don't know about that one. You answer that one. Maybe I'll spark something.
And it doesn't scare me. It's an awareness that you won't let me drive.
Yeah, you've shared that one with me.
Because you still you have so many fucking layers to you and so much masculine that you still live in, and that you know, whether it's money, whether it's business, whether it's things, whether it's just, you know, even like just owning like the relationship. I think a lot of times it doesn't scare me. I'm just aware that like you have a really hard time of letting go in a lot of ways of not needing to be the driver.
Yeah. And I'm sure there's a lot of women on here. They're like, it's, I mean, if you think about it, it's like, what, 36 years of my life. That was my operating system.
Yeah.
And so I'm pretty fresh into this other way of being. And so it's like, especially when anytime I feel, anytime fear comes up, it's like, oh gosh, you know, and it's like, this is a very baby journey I'm on. Like I'm only a couple years into like really being handing that over, you know. So that's definitely it. That's a big one.
And your answer?
I think it would be that. I know it would be doubting that that this is real. That, like I really love you. Like I really, really love you for all of you, because that's something that comes up when you're in your fear that you know, like sometimes you'll wonder if this is legit or whatever, because it's old programming that doesn't even make any sense. And I've learned this too, just a little side note, is listen to your partner when you guys are triggered and mad. If you actually start listening, what's being said it's literally like not of that state. I do it and he does it, and I'm like listening, I'm like, that doesn't even make sense for this, what's happening right now, because it's the old things coming back, right? But I would say that, like really doubting my love and commitment for you, and knowing that I'm truly love you.
Good answer.
For all that you are.
Yeah. Next question. Do we have a healthy relationship?
Definitely.
I guess my answer to that would be like, define healthy. Like, what is healthy? What does that mean? You know what I'm saying? I'll answer it differently. I like our relationship.
Yeah.
I'm happy with our relationship. I don't know what healthy means or doesn't mean, but I think we have a brilliant relationship. I think that we're open. I think that we're honest. I think that we're transparent. You know what I mean? I based off of other people's guidelines, rules, benchmarks, I don't give a fuck about any of those things. I'm setting my own benchmark. We write our own rules. So is it healthy then? So for us, it's healthy. Yeah, sure.
Well, I look at it like this. Like, look at Jordan Peterson. It's like if you don't have conflict,
right,
you have a problem. So the fact is it's not that we have a lot of conflict, but it's we are willing to have conflict. We're willing to work through things. We're willing to call each other out. We're willing to sit with each other in the shit. We're willing to mend and repair. We're willing to have really like open, raw conversations to better our relationship. And in the end, like it's based around truth, communication, love, and commitment. And so it's like, to me, that's healthy.
Yeah, I say yes to that. And I want to say one thing to that really quick, just because it's on my mind. I think the more, if you're listening to this, like you get to define healthy. You get to define what is and isn't real. You know what I'm saying? And I truly believe that. I think that's part of why we're here on earth and in these relationships and in these bodies and having this experience is to unwind, reprogram, learn these new things. Because what we've been told to be good or bad or right or wrong in a lot of ways is just total fucking bullshit, right? But yeah, we have a healthy relationship.
Well, it's like, okay, look at the Hollises. Not to knock on them, but right? But like, remember they were like leading this group, and it's like they ended up getting divorced. So it's like, look at that. Not saying that they're negative. I don't want to call them as negative, but like they had one ideology. Jordan Peterson has an ideology.
Sure.
Tony Robbins has an ideology. We have an ideology. The point is like, it's not perfect. No matter what you look at, it's not perfect. Right. So to echo what you said, it is. It's just
well, bringing them up. I mean, you just be honest. Like, I think as long as you're honest with your partner and you're honest with yourself, like that's probably the great starting point of happiness and health. You know what I'm saying? So when you're not honest, like you see deterioration in health and marriages and relationships and shit like that.
I used to think though that not having conflict was healthy because I despised conflict. And then I realized now that was like absolutely inaccurate.
Right. So. Cool. Next question. What was one moment this past week where you felt so lucky to be where you are?
Oh, I had so many of those this week. I literally was just laying on you yesterday and I'm like, this man loves me. He smells so good. He feels so good. He's so cute. And I was like thinking about my surgery and getting my appendix out and the flowers and not just all the stuff you do, but it's just, you're just you just love me. And, you know, we're not perfect, but I feel so damn grateful. I never want to use the word lucky. I feel so blessed to have you. And I'm like, I had that so many times. I had this morning, right when I woke up, I was like, you know, I love when I wake up, you're there. You're my guy.
Yeah. For me, my answer was last night after date night, just laying on the couch. I was just like super comfortable, chilling. You were laying there. We were snuggling, watching a movie. The kids were just rallying around. The dogs were there. I was just like, yeah, this is the jam, dude. Like, this is good, you know?
Yeah. That's the good stuff.
Yeah. Next question. Interesting one. Do you trust the way I handle finances?
Yeah.
Yes?
Yeah. Honestly,
I say yes. I say yes to that. I do. You're not irresponsible. I think a lot of times you buy stupid shit that you really don't need.
Would you guys like to know what Sean ordered from Amazon this week?
What did I order?
How many people have hillbilly buck teeth and a mullet hat?
Dude, you have no idea how much money that's going to make me. No, hang on.
Green tie-dye shoes and a bucket hat.
Yeah.
And
oh yeah, wait till you see how much money this makes us though. I have ideas for I bought one of those camo hats.
We sin the same, okay?
Yeah, that's true. I do trust you with money because if I said, "Hey, stop spending money," you'd stop spending money.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I did buy buck teeth, and you know those Billy Buck teeth, and a camo hat with the long mullet because I have some incredible content coming for you guys.
I can't wait to see it, dear.
Oh, it's gonna be it's gonna be brilliant. Great answer.
No, I think honestly, because you and I have both been down and out. We've both been broker than broke. I've been on food stamps.
Yep.
I've literally scrounged my car for change to buy my kid a burger. You've gone through your stuff. Like, I know that forges you and fire to have a totally different way of looking at money, to where we don't have scarcity, but we have a damn appreciation and we have a reverence when it comes to truly spending money.
Yeah.
Now, when it comes to Amazon purchases, I don't know what our problem is. We have problems.
Take that off the table. I wish Amazon had. Well, I shouldn't say this because then I'd.
They should like cap us. Like,
I was going to
you've
say we
already
have a
ordered
cap. Like, what do you
57
want?
items this week.
Yeah, what do you
You're
want
done.
your total on Amazon to be per month? And they should just like warn you at 2 a.m. Sorry, you've reached your cap. You're like, fuck, man, it's only the 5th.
No, they should not allow us to shop between the hours of 10 p.m. and 2 a.m.
Are you
that's
sober?
when I'm like,
yes or no?
Oh,
you have to blow into your phone
sober.
to make sure you're totally sober.
I'm always sober. I'm just like, yeah, we should make those resin jewelry things, and we should do leather bracelets, and we should. I have more crafts ready for the kids this week.
Oh my god,
that's what I've been on a roll with.
And how many crafts have we done with the kids this week?
Nada.
0. We have crafts all over the fucking place.
I had a big jewelry drop today for my birthday. So
that's funny.
That's what we're doing tomorrow.
Yeah,
we do send the same, dear. So yes, but I think we are both very responsible with finances. But actually, I want to add to that because you're a full send too. Like, you'll invest in things like big investments.
Yeah.
And you don't talk to me about them, but I know you know what you're doing.
Yeah.
And even if they don't work out, I still know you know what you're doing. Does that make sense? Like, I don't need you to be batting 100 to have faith in your ability of investing and handling our finances. So
cool.
Yeah. That was a fun question.
we both sin the same. I like that. That's funny. Next question. Have you realized anything recently?
Yep. Oh my gosh. I had some huge epiphanies. So going through my surgery and all this, and I run so hard and so fast. Like, I'm a gym person every day, and I go so hard to the gym every day. And I realized, like, in this past 2 weeks of not going to the gym and not, being on, like, this is the first monster I've had in 2 weeks, right? And I just realized how much I was pushing, which is very masculine, because I love to be productive. I love working. I love to be productive, but it's like this new discipline of mine to be like, how about you just be present? How about you just pull back? How about you just be? And it's almost like God or life stopped me in my tracks to be like, be Saxony, you know, and this may not be like a big aha, but for me, it's like, God, I've like get emotional because I've really felt in my body lately. And I think a lot of people understand what that means to be when you're in your head or when you're in your body, like there's a very big difference. And I'm very happy and thriving when I'm in my head doing and everything, but it's been really a beautiful reminder of just really being more present and just being okay to be home and just tend to myself and be more with the kids. It's just, I get caught up in, like I said, I love to be productive, and I'm really, really, really grateful when I'm reminded to that. So that was my big like
aha moment. I've realized recently how small I'm still playing, and I say that frequently, and people always say, you know, you're always going and crazy and whatever. And I feel like I'm still playing at like 10%. You know, case in point, my podcast. Like, I've had millions and millions and millions of downloads of my podcast, the Sean Whalen Show, and I just am not doing it, and I don't know why. And I don't know if it's trepidation, if it's fear, if it's whatever, but like, I don't know. There's just something there that I'm like, dude, what the fuck are you doing? Why are you not doing
Every
this?
episode you have is so great.
Yeah.
I actually listened to a couple the other day.
And it's like, I realized how small I'm playing still. Yeah.
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 Get it, babe.
I'm going to.
I love that about you, though. I love that you are just, you're never, what does Ed Milet say?
Blissfully dissatisfied.
Blissfully dissatisfied.
Yep.
I love
I'm blissfully dissatisfied. Yep.
Yeah.
All right, next question. The last question, actually. When you make decisions, what do you think about?
I think about the impact on my family, usually. I make decisions. 'Cause most of my decisions are big decisions. If it's what I want for lunch, I choose things that are gluten-free or dairy-free.
By the way, did you order me food?
Nope.
Fuck, I'm starving, dude. I texted you before we got on
I didn't even see
it would have
the
been
text.
here by the time like we're done at lunch.
I didn't see your text. Sorry. But I will.
Is that your answer?
I will go get you lunch. Yeah.
Okay. My answer. What do you make decisions, or excuse me, when you make decisions, what do you think about? A lot of times I don't think. I just do, which I think is a blessing and a curse. But when I do think about decisions, is this something that I want to do? Is this something that's going to bring me peace? I used to do things, is this going to bring me money? Is this going to bring me growth? Whatever. Now it is deeply rooted in, is this something that I want as part of my lifestyle? Is this something that I want to do? Like, I've turned so many things down. I've turned speaking engagements down. I've turned paid speaking engagements down because I just don't want to go. It's just not something that I want to do. And I think me getting to a place where I'm really, really, really good with who I am and what I am, I very much make decisions based off of like alignment with my lifestyle, with my morals, with where I am. Not, is this the cool kids club? Is this where all the popular people are? Is this where all the people are going to be? Is this where the money's going to be? But is this something that aligns with me morally? Is this something that I truly want to be at, or want to do, or want to invest in, or want to spend time in? And if it's like I'm sitting on the fence, it's a hard pass. It's just a hard pass.
You've become way more grounded in the recent years.
Yeah, for sure.
I love that. Because, that's awesome.
I had an opportunity to go speak to 900 people, keynote, blah, 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 Las Vegas, big event, the whole thing. And it was a weekend that we had the kids. And it was just like, I literally sat there, got the text, come down, we'll pay for you. And that's a big deal, right? As a guy who's growing a brand and this and that and more people, 900 lives, whatever. It was like, I literally had the simplest thought process behind it. Would I rather be there with those people or playing with my kids? And the answer was playing with my kids.
You are so
and that was
good
it.
at that.
But that was it. There wasn't like, well, how much money could I make off this? How many seeds could I plant? How many people could buy a shirt? How many people would join my coaching group? What could I pitch, or could I offer something? It was a simple question. Would I rather be on this stage, or would I rather be playing with my kids on Friday night? And it was a simple answer, kids. And
you are so good at that. Like, you do put your kids I mean, you put me all the time, but the kids we don't have as often as you have
Yeah.
your wife. So that's why I'm like, but you put your kids like before your money. You do. It's awesome. It's very rare that we move stuff around with the kids. It's like usually like it would be like Mark Evans' birthday or something like that special, right?
Right.
It's the only. There's not a lot of reasons. It's really cool.
Yeah. Yeah, that's that. Those are the questions.
Short and sweet, sugar.
Actually, there's one more that I didn't circle. Last one. Ready? Okay, ready? One more.
I'm ready.
Are there, and we might have already maybe talked about this. Are there any values that you feel like you aren't living out as much as you'd like? What are they and why? Are there any values that you feel like you aren't living out as much as you'd like? What are they and why?
I really, I don't know if it's a value, but I really don't. I know that I'm better than a lot of the fears sometimes that I let come in. It's like I know it's like, why am I even entertaining this right now? Because I'm a very confident, very loved, very incredible human being, and I let fear sometimes drive when I know better. Let's say that.
I don't know. That's a hard answer for me. Are there any values? Because I think of values as like your morals and your integrity and stuff like that. I was like, is there anything? I guess you can shift that. Is there anything in your life that you feel like you aren't living out as much as you'd like? What are they and why?
I'm going to add to mine because a lot of times when I get fiery or I get protective, I get a little sassy, and sometimes my sassy girl like Sax. Zip it.
What do you mean sassy?
Like when I want to run my mouth and be like, oh, really? Mm-hmm. It's usually only with my girlfriend. But sometimes I'm like, don't do that, Sax. But the little inner sassy girl is like, oh, no, we're going to talk some shit because we are not happy with this. This is bullshit.
That's what I was talking about earlier.
Well,
yeah, you got to take that shit down, man.
Every girl's got it. We just love it.
You do have it, but you got to tone that shit down. You got to turn it down a little bit.
It's only with select people.
Yeah.
You have to like be privileged.
Yeah. I don't know of values. I don't know if I really get this question or if I can, but I would say that
interpret it how you want.
Yeah, like from a leadership perspective, if there's values that I feel like I'm not living out as much as I'd like, what are they and why? Like I want to become a better leader. I don't know that I'm truly the leader that I can be and should be or want to be, and I struggle with that a lot.
Share what that means.
I question myself a lot. I question myself on like managing people and truly leading people. You know what I mean? Like I don't know that I really truly I understand what leadership is. I understand how to lead me. I don't know that I figured out how to lead people yet. And that's something that's like an ongoing thing for me because I have this conflict and this war in my brain of like, well, you should be doing these things and be this person and be this tremendous listener and this empathetic person, which I feel like I listen. I feel like I'm empathetic. Am I the best? Fuck no. Right. But what is the best? Right. Mm-hmm. Am I better than others? Sure. Am I worse than I don't fucking know. Right. But I definitely think that like a value that I'm not living out as much is like a really good leader. And I don't know, maybe I'm off on that because
are you meaning leader as in like
from a company perspective,
or as
yes,
in a coach?
From a business perspective.
Because
I know how to
you
lead
have
me.
Two very different businesses or
sure.
Leadership. How about this? You have two very
roles.
Different leadership roles.
Yeah.
One is a coach, and I think you're absolutely exceptional as a coach. So I would say, just as I'm going to put my 2 cents on that, because I want to clarify, like, I think you're a tremendously excellent coach. Manager of people in business.
That's kind of what I'm talking about. That's something that I feel like I'm not living out and not as good at or not as proficient at or maybe not as savvy at that I want to be. You know what I mean?
I'd like to add that too, though. I think it's because you're really emotional and a heartfelt. No, positively emotional.
You're a fucking nut job.
Right. I'm very emotional. but no, I'm not saying that negatively. Is you put your heart into your people, which 90% of the time it doesn't really work out because that's just kind of how life is, right? But you continue to do that, and so you almost wear your heart externally in your company. And so when things happen, it's like it's real to you. Personal, it's not. It's very personal. And yes, and this is why managers are like the go-between between owners and employees, because I feel like the manager is that saving grace where they're not. Their heart isn't attached to the leadership.
Right.
They're structured. And so with you, I think you would become a better leader having a manager like to remove that heart, because that's all it is. I don't think because when things get difficult, or people disappoint you, or people aren't right or unjust, take it personally. You take it personally.
Yeah.
But I think that comes from a good place.
Yeah. That's my answer.
I like it.
All right, that's that. So, guys, we'll put a link to this. We should do this more often. This is kind of fun, actually.
I know.
We should do, do they have sexy ones, raunchy ones? They do?
Yeah, they have, of course, it's the internet. Everything's on the internet.
Let's do another one that's like sex and sexy questions.
Okie dokie.
See how far we're willing to go on that.
I have an ask of our audience, though.
What?
I would like them to go to our Facebook and give us give me a synopsis. Give me a
summary.
Thank you. Give me a summary of how this went with your partner, just in the comment section after I post it.
Yeah.
I would love to just hear if it sparked something, if it healed something, if you guys laughed, if you got divorced.
Broke up, punched each other in the face.
Truth will never harm you if you're in a good relationship.
Dishes. Yeah.
Well, I mean,
this is good though. There's 15 questions.
Yeah.
And we're going to do this more often. This is good.
I love these exercises because I love hearing, honestly, guys, I'm not perfect, and I don't love hearing my flaws, but I love being aware and getting to see them, because I trust my partner, trust you, to share with me what you feel I need to work on, because I know you love me enough to want me to improve. And so it's like, oh, I want to be sassy, which I think that's just in my bloodline, sugar.
Well,
you met my grandmothers, both of my grandmothers.
You should work on that shit.
And I'm a Leo, Sag. It's just fire in this house. You married me. You picked me.
Do you think I understood any of that astrology shit when we were dating?
Yeah.
No, you just read me that shit all day long. The stars and Uranus is in line with the ocean, and the moon's shining off of the fucking towers, and the mountains are red. I sent you a
compatibility of our report of our star chart, and you FaceTimed me while we were dating, and we reviewed it. So yes, you did.
I just wanted to get you naked. I wanted you to think I cared about
But what you just said is not a fact. You were very aware. Very aware. Did you understand it and just breeze by it because you wanted to
get naked?
Get naked?
Yeah. Oh,
sure. But I'm just saying it was fully disclosed.
Yeah, go do this 15 questions with your significant other, lover, partner, and God bless. See you guys.
Love you. Bye.